beautiful. It's this huge set of steps, very iconic, very famous, and very unique landmark here in Yerevan. And at the top, you get a beautiful view of the city of Yerevan. Welcome back, everyone, to Yerevan, Armenia. We're back here today. Today we're actually right out here at a very iconic, very famous, and very unique landmark here in Yerevan. It's right there. It is the Yerevan Cascade. It's beautiful. It's this huge set of steps and structures with terraced gardens and little buildings that you can go into also. It is an interesting project with a pretty long development history. There's a lot of cool stuff to see, and from up top there's an excellent view of the city. So let's check it out. Come along. Thanks for clicking on the video. If you want to help out the channel and help it grow, I really would appreciate it. Click on the like button down there, the subscribe button, and the little bell next to it to be notified for when new videos drop. It really helps the channel grow because it's going to help the YouTube algorithm recognize this content and spread it to other YouTube viewers. If you'd like to support the channel monetarily, I would appreciate that as well. You can leave a super thanks by clicking this thanks button here and give a small donation to the channel. I appreciate your support. So back to the video. Enjoy. So the project was originally envisioned way back in like the 1920s by a guy named Alexander Tamanian. And in fact, this part right here is Alexander Tamanian Square. And that right there, the statue, is Tamanian. That's Alexander Tamanian. And he was, this is like him planning the whole thing. But before it was implemented, before it was constructed, Tamanian died. So he didn't actually make it long enough to see his creation. And in fact, even though this thing was originally envisioned way back in the 1920s, it didn't get completely built and opened until like the 2000s. After Tamanian died, the Soviet Union sort of looked at his idea again to see if it was something that they would want to build here. And so they started planning again for building the Cascade Complex. But lots of things sort of got in the way. In 1980, there was the Moscow Olympics, so funding was diverted for that. In 1988, there was an earthquake here in Armenia, and so there was a delay in construction for that. And then, of course, in 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed. So there was definitely a delay in funding after that. But eventually, in like the early 2000s, under Independent Republic of Armenia, it was fully implemented, fully constructed, and opened. We can get a good look from it from right here. It's really huge. I mean, it goes all the way up the side of this hill. I think there's over 500 steps to get to the top, and you can see there's little terraces on each few levels, and there's like a little building that you can go into. And in fact, there is an art museum that is open on the weekends. And since we are here on a weekend, we can actually go in and check out the art museum as well. But in addition to the art museum, there's art out here in the plaza. There's lots of sculptures, this big teapot, this laughing guy here. And interestingly enough, these sculptures, one of the ones that I've noticed here, is one that we've seen before actually. This is the Roman centurion. Now I think this is a reproduction. I think all of these, I'm not sure how many of these are reproductions, because this one is the Roman centurion. This is like a famous sculpture by the Colombian artist. The Colombian artist Fernando Botero. And we actually saw a Botero collection out in the Plaza Cultural in Medellin, Colombia, where he's from. And also there's an art museum there, and there was a huge section on the top floor of that art museum that was all donated by Botero. Some of his own works, some of his works from other artists that he had collected. Now that we were not able to film in there. So we did make a video about that art museum, and we made a video about the Plaza Cultural as well. Links to those videos down in the description. But we were unable to film the amazing collection that was up there on the top floor. This right here is another Botero. This like woman, the woman lying down here, statue, is also a Botero statue. And I spy another Botero over, like, across the plaza here. This, like, it's like a statue of a cat over by where those people are standing. So it's interesting that they have some Botero sculptures, or maybe reproductions of Botero sculptures here in the plaza leading up to the Cascades. Anyway, we're gonna go climb up this thing. It's very hot today. I don't know exactly how far we're gonna climb up. I have heard that there is a way, like if you go inside into the art museum, which is over here, the Cascades Center for the Arts. You can see, like, right over there. I have heard rumors of an escalator. So we may be able to take an escalator to go up. Let's check out the art museum here, though, since it is open. Then afterwards, we'll figure out a way to get up to the top so we can see that cool, giant, like, sculpture tower up there, and also get a beautiful view of the city out here. All right, we're inside the gallery museum, and turns out you don't need a ticket. Everything is free, which is really nice. And the rumors of an escalator are true. There is an escalator in here, and it looks like from back here I can see it goes all the way up to the top. So we can take an escalator all the way up to the top. There's also a museum store here where you can buy, like, books, souvenirs, gifts, and things like that. And I think each level here is like a gallery. I think there's an art gallery on each level, which is also a really cool design. They have this whole cascade building, basically, that they've cut out of the side of a hill here in Yerevan. And the fact that you can go up to each level and there's like a little gallery, a little garden, it's very cool. And you can see some of the artwork along here on the way up, displayed on the side all the way up. And here on the first level is the garden, a little cascade garden out here. It's very cool. We'll go out there and check it out. So here it is, the first level, the garden. You can already see the view from here is starting to get, you can almost start to see the tops of buildings. And eventually, when we get all the way up there, there's going to be a great view. But here, there's like a little fountain. It's not running right now. I think the original plan for this entire thing, that Temenian made back in like the 1920s, was that there were going to be cascading waterfalls that would come down all the way down. Now that didn't end up happening, but it is cool that it's sort of a similar design with these cascading stairs and these terraces with little gardens along the way. Head back in. And like I mentioned, the monument itself is open 24 hours. You can come to the Cascade Monument and just like walk around it, walk up the stairs 24 hours a day. But the museum and the indoor section here, and for those of you who are like averse to climbing 500 stairs, the escalators here are also only open on the weekends, I think until like 8 p.m. And weekend includes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Looks like in here we have an actual full-on gallery. Let's check this out. That was not a gallery. That was just an advertisement sign. That door was just for the elevator. So there are also elevators as well. You can take an elevator if you need to, if you have like a wheelchair or you can't use the escalator. You can take the elevator to get up as well. And here we arrive at the second of the cascading like gardens, the little terraced gardens. There are some very There is some very beautiful artwork as well along the way up here. Look at this. The escalators are kind of loud. I hope the audio is coming through on this video. I'll try to clean it up in post if it's not, but man, some very, very cool stuff up here. Head out to the second of the terrace gardens here. Yeah, so it looks like hours-wise, open 8 until 8 a.m., 8 p.m. But I have, at least on their website, they do say that it is only open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Definitely starting to get a good view of the city out in the distance. And we're only 2 of, I think, 5 platforms, 2 of 5 terraces up. But it is nice. They have little sculptures. It's just a very cool design too. I mean, look at this. It's very, very cool. Now these do look like fountains. So I wonder if these, like, when these all turn on, in addition to these center fountains, if these are all fountains too. Man, it's a really cool design. It's this kind of, I don't know, it's a very unique design. It looks kind of like very Art Deco, which is of course the 1920s era when it was originally envisioned. But of course it wasn't built until much later. And I think some of the design, of course, would be inspired by like Armenian culture. Very cool. It has a very unique blend of design. You know, in here, this building looks very, very modernist, very like brutalist Soviet building. Outside, the fountains and things on the side look very kind of Art Deco. And the entire monument, the entire Cascade Complex monument it's very unique. I've never really seen any monument like this anywhere else that I've been or that I know of really in the world. And it is gigantic. If you see pictures of this place online, which I did before I came here, there is like there's no way to see exactly like how huge this place is until you're actually here. I mean, it's gigantic. The way that you can tell, you know, is if you're trying to walk up the stairs, or if you're like me taking a series of several escalators up to the top. Like, it's really huge. It is a huge complex, which of course means it was a giant undertaking. Each one of these giant stone blocks, that's the thing, it's not made from concrete as far as I can tell. It's made from individual stone blocks. You know, like you can see the seams between the stones. Ooh. Chromed out car up here. This is very cool. Alright, we are at the third of, I believe, 5. Right here. Beautiful. So each one of these terraces, it looks like, has the same design for the fountains and the like big bird design that's up there. The center fountain of the first Cascade, like the first terrace, had that sculpture in the middle of the fountain. And you know what's really nice? The higher up you get here, there's like a nice breeze. And like I said, it's very hot. I'm like sweating my balls off, sweating through my shirt. But man, starting to get an excellent view of the city. And from here you can see up to the top, one more terrace garden, and then the very top terrace garden. All right, let's keep heading up. All right, we up. Alright, we continue up the way here. The car down there, very cool. Oh man, got a Michael Jordan. Guys, we found him. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's here in Yerevan. Very cool metalwork artwork here. It's a cool bird. Alright, let's continue up. We'll continue up to the next terrace. This giant shoe over here. Cool. Very cool. More artwork. The whole building is itself a gallery, which is really cool. I mean, obviously it's the gallery, but when I did a little research on this, I sort of thought that the gallery would be, like, I don't know, you get to the top floor and there's a gallery, which would be cool, but I think it's even cooler to have a gallery that is like this building on the side that contains the escalator to go up, and you can go up the gallery and like see all the way up everything in the gallery. It's very cool. And here it looks like the steps, so the steps sort of like, they run up the sides for some of these parts, but then they run through the center for other parts. So they go up the sides, they go down the center, they split back out to the side to go around the terraced garden. It's a very cool design. It's very like geometric design, right? Like, look at it. It's very, like, lots of very strong lines. And you can see all the way down there the plaza where we started, where some of those Botero sculptures were. Very, very cool. Beautiful views. Beautiful views of the city, man. We're not even at the top yet. Check it out. Yerevan, this is a sort of a hilly region, right? Unlike some of the regions where we were in Georgia that were like full-on mountainous regions, especially like up in Stepansminda, way up by the Caucasus. We're, of course, much further south here. In fact, Yerevan, we're like way closer to Turkey and Iran here than we are to Russia. Like we were in Georgia is much closer to Russia. You could drive, depending on where you are, you can drive for a couple of hours and be at the Russian border, which we did actually in our Georgian road trip video. I'll put the links to those. Two-part video, man. Excellent road trip. Amazing views. But Yerevan here with the hills out in the distance. Man, it's beautiful views from the city up here. All right, let's go up. We'll go up the last leg. People up here getting selfies with the beautiful views. Very cool. These are divers. Now I did know about these sculptures. This is the diver sculptures. Very cool. So we're here at the very top, the last leg from the terrace where the divers sculptures are to the very top. You have to do on the stairs. There's no escalator to get up here. But man, look at the view. Look at the view up here. It's beautiful. Man, like I said, this is a very unique monument. Never really seen any monument like this. It's very cool. It's an art gallery. It's an amazing architectural feat. It has a very long and interesting history. You know, it took almost 80 years, or even more than 80 years, from development and planning to actual building it. Pretty amazing. And at the top, you get a beautiful view of the city of Yerevan. But I think that's going to do it. I think that's going to do it for the video here. There is this big monument way up there, but from down at the bottom it looked like that thing was like right at the top. It's actually like way over there. You have to go like all the way around, and if we did that then the video would be way too long, but it is still a cool monument there to see, and to be honest, it looks cooler from back here. But I think that's going to do it. That's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed making it. Definitely wanted to come see this place. It was definitely one of the places on the list when I planned the trip here to Yerevan, because, like I said, amazing views from up here. Very unique monument. Very cool. Very, very cool. Anyway, there's more coming from here in Yerevan, Armenia, so stay tuned for that, and we'll see you in the next one.